Every single profitable endeavor in the history of man has had extremely centralized ownership. So in the United States, 1% of people own 50% of the stuff. In a football team, one guy calls the shots. In a family, very often one guy calls the shots. In governments, one guy has the nuke button. Comes down to one guy, extremely centralized. Facebook, majority of the voting shares, tons of the non-voting shares, Zuckerberg owns them. Elon Musk, 20% he owns. Every single ERC20, massively centralized ownership. Bitcoin itself, massively centralized ownership. 42% of all Bitcoin sits in 2,300 addresses and has for years. And that number's been getting worse over time, not better. The centralization in addresses that have over 1,000 coins in them just keeps going up. So if you're noob, as most people in crypto are, compared to me anyway, you think that decentralization is the best. Let me prove for you that that's not true. How's the Amazon stock price? Amazing. And what has Amazon done? Total vertical integration. They own the servers. They write the server software. They own the shipping hubs. They have their own product lines. They have their own billing. Total vertical integration for cost efficiency. Now, what's the opposite of vertical integration? Decentralization. And so because blockchains are decentralized, you have the most expensive writes to the database, the lowest throughput. They suck so bad you can't ask them to wake you up in the morning. That's how poor the blockchain is. It can't even wake you up in the morning. You have pitiful amounts of computation. Most people's cell phones can outperform the entire network's computational ability. But we're willing to incur all of that horror and all that suck to have censorship resistance. And so blockchains are only as useful as they are censorship resistant. And so people confuse this because they're noobs. And they think, so censorship resistance and decentralization is useful in the network, and therefore it must be useful in the ownership structure. And you're like, no, actually, go look at the charts. The more centralized things do better on price performance. And what you would consider to be the most decentralized thing, which would be Bitcoin, gets murdered by everything. Like from the COVID dip, Ethereum went up 3 times as high as Bitcoin did. Bitcoin did an 18x and Ethereum did like a 50x. And HEX did like hundreds and thousands of X's. And when you have an S curve of adoption, people think that they're early buying into Bitcoin after the world's richest guy already bought, after a nation state already made it legal and bought, after it's on the world's largest market, the CFTC futures market in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You're not early in Bitcoin. It's 13 years old, guys. And that's the reason the price chart is falling over, and you've been down for 11 months now. The price is down for 11 and a half months now because you're at the top of an S-curve. Now, will the price make new all-time highs? Yes. Will it get outperformed by almost everything else in crypto? Yeah, pretty much. Particularly things that have product market fit. There's a lot of scams out there. If you buy a scam and you hold it for longer, you're still sitting at zero and you lose all your money or get rug pulled. But if you buy a real innovative product that has product market fit, it has a walled garden, it has a vibrant, enthusiastic, you could even say zealotous community, you're very likely to have good price performance. I mean, the best time you could ever buy Bitcoin was Satoshi owned all the coins. The best time you could ever buy Bitcoin was there's no liquidity and there was only on one exchange. When everything sucked the most was the best time to buy Bitcoin or Facebook or Amazon or basically any of these things. But people get it backwards. They're like, oh, Bitcoin's more popular. Yeah, so now you'll make less gains. Good job. Learn how to speculate, you know?